Morning guys, I'm out here with Mr. Coop. He's got his heavyweight turnout rug on because it was cold last night. If I'm squinting away, it's because the sun is shining. Look at that blue sky behind. Beautiful day, just very, very cold. Oh, more itching. It's very, very itchy at the moment. He's actually a little bit flat as well. Last few times I've ridden him, Coop's just not felt... Less itching, please. He's just not felt that jolly. He's been fine and he's done everything like he should, but he's just going to keep head out of the camera. Come here. He just hasn't felt that quite right. So I've ordered him some supplement just to try and give him a boost. I've backed off any schooling. He did do the POLEWORK session that you'll see that I put up in a minute. But yeah, we're just going to keep it to gentle hacking and that kind of thing. So Lara is going to pop in and ride with me this morning. She'll ride Coop, I'll ride Artie and lead Sienna off of him. And yeah, we'll just monitor it. He is meant to be going to a show next week. I mean, he's still bright-eyed and everything, so we'll just see. We might not get there if he's not feeling 100%. But he looks happy enough. He's eating well, drinking well. I don't know, maybe he's done quite a lot in the last few weeks and maybe he's just feeling it. So like I say, I've got a POLEWORK session that I'm going to put out today that Lara and I did a couple of days ago. So she was on Artie, I was on Coop, and it was really good. It was a bit of a nod to eventing, so it was kind of looking at cross-country lines but with poles. But it's, it's good for any horse of any ability, and you can adjust it if you're a young one or if you want to make it harder with maybe a more advanced horse. But it was good fun, and this time of year there's a lot more training going on, obviously thanks Coop. Event horses might be just coming back into work, so it's just a bit of fun to do in the arena. Good for them, beneficial whether you do it in walk, trot and canter. You could raise the poles in it if you want to make it, if you bite me, you can raise the poles if you want to make it harder. But it was really getting you thinking as a rider, thinking about your lines, your angles, making sure that you stay on your line as well with the horse, keeping your rhythm, your balance, making sure your horse is nice and supple between the turns, all that kind of thing. So it was really good exercise. I don't trust him. He occasionally will nip Corporal, like he pretends to be all innocent, and then the little cheeky monkey will give you a little nip, won't you? So yeah, so I'm going to put that in now to the video and probably see you guys after it. So I sent Lara off first just to walk through all the poles that were set up in the school. So first up we had these two skinny poles in a row. As you can see, I've just added some guide poles along the second one just to help keep the horses straight and sort of encourage them to get to the centre of the pole. And remember, it's really good to do pole work in walk. The effort it takes for the horse to actually pick their feet up over the poles is done through muscle, whereas when they're trotting over poles, it's much more suspension and it's much easier for them. Here you can see we just had a bit of S-bender poles, which is great for suppleness. Then a right angled set of poles, something you'd often see on a cross-country course, jumping one rail and then turning tight right or left, depending on which way you're doing it, to another fence. And then to finish off, we had this acute angle of poles, again something you might find on a cross-country course. So I set off in trot with Coop. So pole work is such a good way to help your horse build some core strength, improve and really build muscle over the hindquarters, as well as overall muscle development. It's great for increasing mobility and suppleness for them. So there's so many gains from doing pole work, and it's also really good fun. Like, horses genuinely seem to really love doing pole work, and it also kind of keeps them sweet. It's a way to do schooling without it being boring for them, and there's also lots of benefits for the rider. And you can see there I've just popped through the S-shaped bend. You can see I was lacking a little bit of suppleness through Corporal. I would like to have seen a little more bend through his body. But as a rider, when you're doing these exercises, you really want to think about looking up and ahead, making sure you set your horse up through those turns. It doesn't matter what stride you reach these poles on. It's all about the corners, your turns, how you ride them. This is a chance to work on your skill as a rider. So here you can see I've just sent Lara through these poles twice because Artie the first time slightly deviated off of his line. So, it's being really accurate, making sure that the horse is in front of your leg, that you keep them nice and forward in an even balanced rhythm. I was actually really pleased with these two through this exercise because Artie is not the most supple horse. You can see he carries his head very low due to his conformation, so that can make turning and bending more difficult for him. I popped Coop up into canter, and you can see here
It's also a nice chance to see, can you adjust your horse's canter? If you need to sit back up a little bit and ask for them just to wait a moment, do they listen? Do they respond? Do you get the reaction you want? Here through this S-bending canter, it's so much fun. Great for a bit of footwork from your horse. You know, are they sharp? Are they thinking ahead? Really good from Coop there. I then sent Lara off into canter. Now, this was always going to be very difficult for these two, but I thought they did a really good go at it. Like I say, Artie is not the easiest in canter. He's pretty strong. You can see now that I've actually moved the skinny pole. So to make two of the exercises harder, we've added a skinny pole to this right-angled bend. So meaning you have to be a lot more accurate in your riding, really wrapping the legs round, making sure the horse stays between leg and hand to the fences. And on this acute line here, we've now gone from a wide pole to a skinny pole. Again, making sure that once you're on your line, your horse stays to it and that they don't deviate off of it. So this is all such great exercises, especially if you're an event rider or bringing on a young horse that's hopefully going to go eventing.
Afternoon, guys. I've had a bit of an afternoon flop. I'm very rosy cheeked. It's quite warm in my house. I did turn my heating on. I turned my heating on and we're just trying to get it right. Because at the moment the house is like a sauna. Last night the house was cold. I can't work it out. But yeah, I'm very rosy cheeked from being in there. It's so gorgeous this afternoon. It's been a really lovely day. I'm really glad I did chuck the gang out. I was sort of umming and ahhing after that heavy rain we had at the beginning of the week whether to do it. And they have trashed the field a little bit. Well, Sienna has trashed the field. But when it's so nice like this, it does make me appreciate. They haven't even come up, which is so unlike them, because normally they'll be up by, by about, you're quite high up there. You'll go with that one. They can often be up by about 1 o'clock, and it is 3:20, and they are still good distance down the field, so they're obviously having a lovely time out. My afternoon flop meant that I haven't even mucked out, which is poor effort on my behalf. I sort of good this morning, got lots of things done, and then had lunch, and then sat down, and that's where the mistake was made. Didn't move again after that until about half an hour ago, when I thought I really need to get out and go muck out before I get them in. But hey, sometimes you just got to sit down, haven't you? This time of year does feel very busy. So maybe I needed that little bit of rest. Anyway, we had a good hack. Everyone, Sienna was very jolly, very happy to be out. So yeah, nothing really very exciting to report for the rest of the day, really. I've got a video yet, but I have got a Christmas or Equestrian Christmas gift guide coming up, which I think however I video it's going to probably be quite cringy and cheesy, but hey, I quite like the run up to Christmas. Not actually Christmas Day, but I like the run up to Christmas, and I do like present buying. So this really is right up my street. So I will do it and try and get it out by sort of Wednesday next week, because it's not far off us. In fact, today it is, we're on a Saturday today. It's exactly 5 weeks till Christmas Eve. So that's going to fly by. But we've got a far more important event coming before that, and that is the shortest day of the year is upon us, the Equestrian Christmas version, I feel. Oh, it's good to get over that hurdle. Once you've got that out of the way, I feel like, I don't know, it's just more positive, isn't it? You know you're going in the right direction. However slow it takes, you're still going in the right direction. I don't know what they're watching over there, but Artie's having a little look around. Anyway, I'm going to carry on mucking out. I think tomorrow I might have to get on and do some tack cleaning and actually do some yard tidying and things like that. And I've got a bit of work to do as well tomorrow morning, so it's going to be a busy day, but all will be good. And next week's going to be absolutely crazy. I've got to fit in a lot of work into 4 days, which I'm not looking forward to, but hey, fingers crossed. We're going to be going to Westfields on Thursday, so it's for a good cause.